All right. Welcome to the October 8th meeting of the Rotary Club of Des Moines. This week it says we are now the 11th meeting in person here at the Wakanda Club. I'm President Doug Saltzgaver. We're glad you're all here today with us, both here in person and those of you out there in cyberspace watching on our YouTube channel. Welcome to all of you, and thanks again to the Invictus Media A team for filming our meeting and getting everything linked up. Today we're part of the meeting will be here in person, part of it's going to be broadcast by Skype, and that is not always a small feat, and Kitty's looking a little better now than when she did when I came in. Doesn't have quite the panicked look on her face. So again, Kitty and the Invictus team are doing a great job in pulling this all together. I'm not wearing my mask while up here at the podium, so you can hear me more clearly, and since I'm safely distanced from all of you. And of course, we will be sanitizing the microphone between speakers. We do ask you that you keep your masks on while not eating or speaking or drinking or talking from the podium. I will now ask Carter Smith to share a moment of inspiration, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance and the four-way test.
Hi, everyone. Like many of you, my travel plans have been disrupted. Backpacking in Europe will have to wait for another year. Lately, I've been trying to better get a grasp of the global nature of the community here in Des Moines. In light of this, and in honor of our guests today, I wanted to share a few Des Moines international facts that I have learned recently. In Des Moines, there are close to 50,000 foreign-born residents. Des Moines has sister city relationships with 5 other countries, including Japan, Kosovo, China, France, and Russia. And the World Food Prize's International Symposium, held annually here in Des Moines, brings in participants from 65 other countries, and conveniently, it's held next week, actually. Even in these strange times, our community offers vast opportunities for global learning and cultural understanding thanks to organizations like the World Food Prize. And with that, the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now the four-way test. The truth. Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Carter. Now, since we can't shake hands, everybody please wave at each other. Not the wave, not the wave like in a stadium, but yeah. All right. Although it's fall, and it's actually warm right now, cooler weather will be on its way soon. Our annual Operation Warm Coat Drive has started to help keep kids warm. There's a sign-up sheet on everyone's table for you to donate $20 to buy one coat. We'll bill your account. You can also email Kitty if you're out there in cyberspace, and she will get you signed up to pledge for a coat or 2 or 20. The goal is to raise $6,000 for 300 coats. We're currently at 4,800, 4,900. Keeps going up a little bit, so we're getting close to our goal. We've got one more week. We really want to hit that goal. So thanks to all of you that have already pledged. Again, the deadline is next week, October 15th. The coats will be distributed to Orchard Place and Child Serve Kids. So since we're not quite there yet, I know I've made a pledge the last 2 weeks. I'll do another half a coat. Past President Jamie, would you split that coat with me? All right, half a coat for Jamie and myself. How about past President Don? Will you split another coat with me? Yeah, I see you over there. Sean, Sean, sorry. It's been so long since you've been president. Sure. All right, another half a coat for me and Sean. Don? Don was the last president. Past president for Sean. All right. Anybody else want to go halvesies with me on a coat? Mr. Tonewell. All right. We're going to get this goal yet. All right. Thank you, everyone. I'd now like to introduce past district governor, Erna Moran, for a special award recognition today. Erna.
Sure is a pleasure to be back here. Good afternoon, everybody, here in person and via Skype, I believe. What a great way to communicate with all of you. One of the experiences and responsibilities of a district governor is to represent Rotary International Board of Directors and the Rotary Foundation Board of Trustees in the presentation of awards. Normally, we would do that at a conference, festival, whatever we want to call that. But since we had to cancel our festival, which you all were looking really forward to, we had to find a really unique method to present the awards to deserving Rotarians and world citizens. At the festival, we would have had Rotarians and friends from all over the district and maybe from all over the world attend and help celebrate the presentations. Today, we use technology and digital communication to present a very special award demonstrating great commitment. It is indeed a very special one, as it recognizes an individual deeply committed to fighting hunger in the world. As you know, a very special interest of mine and Rotary District 6000. During this extraordinary year, members combined to provide over 500,000 meals to fellow Iowans. My awards committee, co-chair, PDG Jackie Andrew of Jefferson, will now make the announcement. Jackie?
I'm a lot shorter than. Thank you, Erna. It is a distinct privilege to announce the recipient of Rotary International's Award for Excellence in Service to Humanity. This honor is based on the performance of non-Rotarians of continuing exemplary humanitarian service consistent with Rotary's ideals. One of only 25 in the world so honored, and fewer than 100 have ever received this award. The recipient today, honored by Rotary International with this prestigious award, is our own Ambassador Kenneth Quinn. Because this is such a special occasion, we'd like to share some highlights of Ambassador Quinn's career that were part of the nomination. He's an Iowa native from Dubuque. Quinn went on to a distinguished 32-year career in the U.S. Foreign Service and State Department, serving in Washington, Europe, and the Southeast Asian countries, and as the 10th ambassador to Cambodia in the late 1990s. Following his diplomatic career, he was chosen to serve as president of the World Food Prize in 2000. Early in its development, he led a $30 million renovation of the former Des Moines Public Library into the World Food Prize Hall of Laureates, which recognizes those whose breakthrough achievements ensure global food security for all. He worked with the Rotary Club of Des Moines, your own club, on a major donation of $150,000 to the building as your 2011 Club Centennial Project. Throughout his career, humanitarian efforts were at the core of Dr. Quinn's endeavors. He considers himself a foot soldier in the Green Revolution, which was launched by Dr. Norman Borlaug's life-saving Miracle Wheat, the related crop, Miracle Rice, that Quinn helped spread throughout Vietnam in the 60s, changed lives. He devoted available resources to building good roads that created positive change, reducing hunger, poverty, political instability, and terrorism. In 1974, working in Iowa, he led the resettlement of 1,500 Thai Dam refugees to communities throughout the state, playing a central role in one of the greatest humanitarian efforts in the state's history. Later, after visiting Indochina regions, he developed Iowa Shares to raise millions in funds for supplies, food, and medical help for 30,000 Cambodian refugees. At the World Food Prize events, he has raised the interest in feeding our world from a few dozen attendees to many thousands from around the globe. PDG Erna will now present the award to Ambassador Quinn.
Congratulations, Ambassador Quinn. We hope that this will work. I have a beautiful crystal here for you. I think you've seen maybe a picture of it, but I hope you can see it. It will say, Excellence in Service to Humanity, Kenneth M. Quinn. Exemplary humanitarian service, consistent with Rotary's motto, service above self. Don't know if you can see it, but we have it here for you, and it. Can you? Okay. Okay. Well, that's not all. You also will get one of the most desirable Rotary very special lapel pins. You will be recognized by 1.2 million people in the world. When you wear this pin, they will know what it means and what it stands for. So again, congratulations, Ambassador Quinn. I hope you will all help me here in congratulating Ambassador Quinn with this very, very special award. Would you like to comment, Ambassador Quinn?
Well, past District Governor Erna and past District Governor Jackie, President Doug, all the members of the club, I want to say how deeply moved I am to receive this Rotary International Excellence in Service to Humanity Award, and how deeply grateful I am to Rotary District 6000, to the club, and also to District Awards co-chair Bill Kellner, my very, very good friend David Oman, Kitty Morehouse from the club, for all you did to nominate me for this surprise award. When Governor Jackie called me, good thing I was sitting down, so would have knocked me off my feet. I want to especially acknowledge the late Governor Robert Ray, member of your club, my mentor. September 26th was the anniversary of his, and I recorded a video interview that day with Scott Racker, also a Rotary member of the AM Club, talking about these very issues that you just mentioned, about resettling the Thai Dam, about rescuing the Vietnamese boat people, about Iowa Shares rushing food and medicine, Iowa doctors and nurses to Thailand to save Cambodian genocide victims. And you're also, and I want to say especially to this club and District 6000, I recall your participation in all you did to help us raise 1979 for Iowa Shares. You're also so good to honor me for my work with the World Food Prize I want to say in my 6-decade-long career, the two individuals who I admire the most and who exemplify the Rotary motto of service above self are Norman Borlaug, the founder of the World Food Prize, and Governor Robert D. Ray. Now, next week, there's a terrific week-long World Food Prize celebration. Barbara Stinson, my successor, has done a marvelous job under difficult circumstances in arranging all of this. But and I hope you'll take part in as much of it as you can. But in 1999, when I came home to Iowa from Cambodia, having finished my tour as U.S. ambassador to Cambodia, I was literally going from the killing fields to the field of dreams. And my very first public presentation was to this club. And I came over and told you about my dreams. And you know, the World Food Prize was a one-day event. Then maybe 25 or 30 people came from outside Iowa to take part. And I said, I've dreamed that we could make it into the Nobel Prize for Food and Agriculture. And I dreamed we could make Des Moines the hunger fighting capital of America but through our symposium and the Hunger Summit and the youth programs, which that year had 25 students total being impacted, that we could build it into the crown jewel of the Iowa high school experience and build it out to impact thousands of students across America and around the world. You know, it sounded like Mission Impossible, but one thing I've learned is when Rotary is involved, nothing is impossible. And so together, we did things, and you helped me make those dreams come true. In 2001, you helped fill the Civic Center when we launched the campaign to transform the public library building into the Hall of Laureates. In 2002, we worked together with the AM Club as you nominated Norman Borlaug for Rotary International's highest award, World Understanding and Peace, that he received in Barcelona. In 2004, I got together with then District Governor Bill Tubbs, and we created the World Food Prize Hoover Wallace Dinners to bring together people across political divisions to honor Iowa's humanitarian heritage. We honored Senator Grassley and Senator Harkin at the same time, Governor Vilsack and Governor Branstad at the same time, former Governor Ray and former Vice President Walter Mondale at the same time. I think we probably could use some events like that now. But all the money we raised went to our World Food Prize youth programs, which now impact about 10,000 students a year. And then in 2011, you took my breath away again with that $150,000 contribution to help us install Norman Borlaug's statue in the John and Janice Ruan Garden at the Hall of Laureates. So I just want to say one final word about impact of Rotary youth programs. In 1960, I was an 18-year-old kid graduating from Wahlert High School in Dubuque, Iowa. My family was on hard times, and I didn't have enough money to go to college. Even living at home to attend Loras College in Dubuque, I didn't have the money to do it. I entered a Rotary contest for students, and I somehow won first place, and the prize was $100. That $100 allowed me to pay my tuition for that first semester. Rotary helped launch me on this amazing journey, this odyssey I've had over the next 60 years. And now today, receiving this award, in effect, Rotary is the bookends of my humanitarian journey. And I just want to say I'm so very proud to be an Iowan. I'm very proud to be a Paul Harris Fellow. I'm very proud to be an honorary member of the Des Moines Rotary Club. And I'm very, very, very proud to be the recipient of the Rotary International Award for Excellence in service to humanity. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for this incredible honor.
Thank you, Ambassador Quinn. And thank you, past District Governor Erna and Jackie. Congratulations, Ken. We're so happy to have you as an honorary member of our club. We have great memories of working with you during our club centennial in 2011. Can't believe it's been 9 years already. We thank you for joining us by Skype today. There's also another flyer on your table about the upcoming virtual, I always stumble over this, Civitas, presented by the Greater Des Moines Rotary Multi-Club Committee. That's a mouthful, and I'm not done stumbling yet. Thanks to our own Jason Stiventis, not even close, what Kitty said. If you'd have a common name like Saltzgaver, you wouldn't have to stumble over these. Wow. Anyway, Jason is our club's representative to this committee. This year's event will be virtual on Tuesday, October 20th from 4:30 to 6:30. This year's program will focus on the critical topic of substance abuse in our metro area. You must register to receive the login information for this event. The details are also included in Tuesday's e-bulletin for those of you tuning in virtually. I would now like to introduce the guy with a great face for radio, David Oman, to introduce our keynote speaker. But before I do that, David, would you split a coat with me to win $10? He'll do the whole coat. Wow. And before David comes up, a reminder that if we have some time for questions, we do have our laptop over here where Kitty's sitting. Please look at the laptop and identify yourself and use the microphone to ask your question. You can, if those of you out in cyberspace, you can also email in a question to Kitty, which was done quite frequently last week. If all of that's too confusing for you, just don't ask a question. So, of David Oman.
Kitty, is Ken still on? Okay, all right. Doug, thank you very much, and good afternoon, everybody. I think the moral today, with Doug dunning everybody for some money, is to sit in the back of the room. And the old lesson that you can run but you can't hide is certainly true this noon at Rotary. Pardon me? Oh, well, your day will come, okay? Oh, you got it, okay. Ken, I believe you're still listening. I'm not sure if you can see us or not, but I just want to thank you for all of your service, for the kind words, and most of all for our friendship going back over 40 years. I've been asked to bring that nice Rotary Award with the pin to your home, and I think I'm going to ask my neighbor Doug to accompany me. You know where I live. He lives next door. So for the first time in our life, we'll go around as bagmen. It's great to have Erna and Jackie here. These two have been both longtime friends with their husbands, Steve and Jim, and you're welcome to come back anytime. You know that. And Ken, you're welcome to come and visit as the honorary member that you still are of the Rotary Club. Anytime you want to do it, let me know, and I'll make sure there's some ice cream here for you. This award was extraordinary today. Kitty, thank you for all the work you did. I think you have a new career ahead of you pulling off the Academy Awards. Good job. Okay, now we're going to turn to our main speaker today, and I'm excited to introduce her. This is the new president of the World Food Prize, and next week will be her first Food Prize week. And her October surprise is that Food Prize week will be virtually a virtual week. But the planning that has gone on to date has been exemplary. And once again, the Food Prize will be an important and noted event nationally and internationally. It's been a challenge for Barbara Stinson, but I've come to know her and her work for the last year. And following Ken's great run, I know that Barbara is working with the board to take the Food Prize, this very special program, to even new heights in the years ahead. It was 11 months ago, almost to this day, that she was announced as the new Food Prize president, and she took the job on January 4, 2020. And what a difference 10 months make. Barbara is a native of Colorado, a graduate of that state's university at Boulder, and she has a master's degree from MIT. She spent 3+ decades working on environmental and policy and management at the Keystone, including work at the Keystone Policy Center in Washington, D.C. And for the past 22 years, she served with the Meridian Institute, also in D.C., and I happen to notice online there's an office in Dillon, Colorado. That's cool. Meridian does specific problem-solving projects in the realms of ag development, Jackie, alternative energy, ecosystem restoration, climate change, and air quality, among many other fronts. So Barb clearly has the talent, the skill sets, and the people skills to lead the Food Prize. And from our talks, I also know that she has a very open and keen mind, a servant's heart, and a desire to make a difference. Barb and her husband have truly enjoyed getting to know Des Moines, and I also know her to be a fan of Rotary and our international value and service. And when the time is right, Barbara, we're going to talk with you more about Rotary. So please, all of you online and here in the room, please help me to welcome today's speaker, the president of the World Food Prize, Barbara Stinson.
Well, greetings, everyone. Thank you so much for this opportunity to virtually meet with the Rotary Club of Des Moines. I wish I was in person so much, you can't imagine. It's my absolute honor to be here today celebrating my esteemed predecessor, Ambassador Kenneth Quinn, in this international award. I know, Ken, how much it means to you. Your service has been incredible, and it is so well deserved. As all of you know, Ken served for more than 20 years as president of the World Food Prize Foundation, and his distinguished career in diplomacy in Iowa before makes him an absolute perfect recipient, and particularly at this time. Ken worked so hard here at the World Food Prize Foundation, particularly many years under the leadership of Dr. Norman Borlaug, and many years working together to support and elevate agricultural innovation, focusing on much needed global attention on eradicating hunger and poverty. So thank you, Ken, for your leadership, for your service over a long and distinguished career, and thank you for a lovely and effective transition to my own new leadership in this tremendous organization. Today, I'm just going to talk with you a little bit about me, my background. You've already heard most of it. And what's going on at the World Food Prize now, some of our future plans, and a bit on the landscape of food security going on in this time of COVID. And I'll focus a little bit of attention on this year's World Food Prize laureate. So I began my tenure at the World Food Prize Foundation. You've already heard this in January. And what an auspicious time to try to move to Des Moines and start a new job. It was 3 degrees. I have to say, the day we unloaded the truck, but my husband and I fell in love with Des Moines and central Iowa and all of Iowa right away. So we had an opportunity to start getting oriented with excellent staff that's here at the World Food Prize. And about 2 months into my tenure, of course, the novel coronavirus hit and the world shut down. So we noted immediately the global pause, the huge issues, tremendous issues so many people face, but we particularly saw dramatic increases in hunger everywhere and a magnification of the cracks in the already known problems with the global food system. So we were focused on this major challenge already, but in the time of COVID-19, it has really extended our focus, magnified it. So I want to just say that what we see now more than ever is that hunger and uncertainty about futures are affecting all of our communities. They're affecting our communities here in Iowa and around the globe, with a disproportionate burden on those that are most marginalized. So our focus, our mission here at the World Food Prize has been for 30 plus years to make sure that people don't ever lose track of that. This year, the World Food Prize pivoted to offer our events virtually. We did so right away. We decided to try to feature some of our past laureates and other distinguished notable leaders in digital dialogues, which took place this spring. And we're so glad that we made this shift now because it enabled us to really get prepared for the inevitable, which is a full week of deliberations that will take place next week completely virtually. We are going to be welcoming global leaders and many of our leadership from right here in the US and in Iowa to a stage for 3 days of deliberations with 2 morning ceremonies, and I can tell you more about all of that. This year, the theme is building resilience in the food system. Seems wise and appropriate to particularly try to address those cracks in the food system at home that we all know about, and we will do that through the Iowa Hunger Summit. That precedes the week of October 19th, but through the International Boer Log Dialogue. Food systems resilience is all about addressing the quality, quantity, and availability of food. And that's the mission of the World Food Prize. That was the mission of Norman Borlaug, to try to address quality, quantity, and availability of food. But now we know we have to address simultaneously many more issues in order to seriously, substantially, and in the future build resilient food systems. So we are also focused now on providing a safe, affordable, equitable, and sustainable array of food systems around the world. So with on-the-ground expertise, stakeholders from all over the world participating, leadership and policymakers, we are going to continue to try to mobilize how much work there is going on through this pandemic. People have been focused for the last 6 months on continuing to work and deliver results, and we're really going to focus on not only how much has been achieved in this sort of very unorthodox period, but how much more work there is to do. So in the dialogue, we'll be focusing on action and impact in the future, trying to make that contribution from right here in Des Moines, Iowa. Let me invite you, in addition to the full week of events that week, to particularly tune in on Thursday, October 15th. The Iowa PBS channel will feature our 2020 World Food Prize laureate in a virtual ceremony. This award this year will be given to Dr. Ratan Lal for developing and mainstreaming a soil-centric approach to increasing food production that restores and conserves natural resources while it mitigates climate change. Dr. Lal's techniques have benefited the livelihoods of more than 500 million smallholder farmers, improved food and nutrition security for 2 billion people, and saved hundreds of millions of hectares of natural tropical ecosystems. It's an absolute honor to be, for my first World Food Prize, recognizing this individual. We're excited to offer a man whose scientific achievements have improved quality, quantity, and availability of food, but his work epitomizes the founder of Dr. Norman Borlaug's philosophy. Science is meaningless if it does not serve humanity. So he's spent a career over 5 decades doing exactly that, trying to move his science into action and into impact. So I invite all of you to tune in that night, next Thursday, to see Dr. Law receive his award virtually, and of course to tune into the entire week of events if you'd like to register. And I just want to say, you know, my husband and I arrived in Des Moines at a difficult time, but really it's just been wonderful to settle into the community, to visit different parts of Iowa. We call it shelter in car. We've had a chance to tour really every corner of the state safely, exploring the gems that are here throughout the state. But what we've noticed really in Des Moines is sort of extraordinary. The sense of community here that I've gotten, even virtually. I mean, I haven't been able to meet anyone, but through Zoom calls and lots of emails and introductions, I do feel like I've gotten a sense of how strong the community is here, how collaborative, how people work together in planning, envisioning a new future for downtown Des Moines. I mean, what's transformed over the last 20 years is amazing. My husband and I live 2 blocks away from the Hall of Laureates, right here downtown, trying to experience the amazing array of developments and improvements that have gone on over all these years. And I know, you know, it's all yet to come, really, when we get back to the farmers market and many other features. So it's really just been great to settle into the community, even under these difficult circumstances. I want to close by recognizing Rotary International. It's been part of my connection and relationships through many Rotarian members. In particular, one of your, I think, district presidents from San Diego is also the head of Foundation for Women in Liberia. And she's brought me to Liberia 4 times in order to try to elevate the challenge that women face in Liberia through microloans that Rotary has helped to support, to meet with the president of Liberia, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and try to really spread broad impact. And so I know through personal experience the power that Rotary International has around the world, not only through that project, but through others. So I want to say that a mission that includes peace, disease prevention, environment, water quality, education, these are fundamental aspects of your mission that we share at the World Food Prize. We are devoted to peace through agriculture, improving the environment through agricultural sustainability, and education of young people in all of our programs. So I just will end by thanking all of you. I know you all have individual service to humanity, or you wouldn't be part of this organization. So I hope that there's a time when I can come and meet with you personally, and I thank you all for this opportunity today, and I hope I've spoken the right amount of time and we have a time for just a few questions.
We do have time for questions. No lines, step right up.
I'm sorry, I can't quite hear.
We're asking if there are any questions right now, Barbara.
Okay, thanks. Did that sound okay?
Oh, it's interesting. She mentioned Liberia. Last year, when the Washington Mandela Fellows were here, last several years, when they've come to our Rotary lunch, the person I've been paired with, I always invite them over for dinner. And we had a group last year we really bonded with. We had them over twice. And the mask that I'm wearing today was actually made by a woman from Liberia that sent them over to my wife and I a month or so ago. So if you haven't had a chance to, we have that program again, hopefully next year. If you haven't had a chance to pair up with one of those great individuals.
Sorry, I can't hear. I'm supposed to be hearing something.
I highly recommend you do. It's a great experience, and if you do meet with them here, I recommend that you invite them to your house for dinner. That's where you really get to know them and just have very free conversation about
Kitty, are you there?
about how we do, what our culture is here in Iowa and the U.S. and what their cultures are back in Africa from the various countries that they come from. So, no questions from anyone? Well, of course, Barbara did a great job then. And we'd like to thank Barbara for being at our club today virtually for an informative presentation here on Skype. And we wish you great success with the upcoming summit. And in your honor, we are donating the book, The Interactive Constitution, to the Downtown School Library in your honor. Thank you for being with us here today, whether here live at Wakanda Club or out there in cyberspace on our YouTube channel, watching now or at a later time. For those of you out there watching on our YouTube, there are 32 stunningly good-looking Rotarians here in the room today. That may be mainly because most of you are wearing masks. All safely distanced. We hope more of you will consider RSVPing and coming to an in-person meeting. That is, if you are comfortable with doing that. And if you're not so good looking, it doesn't matter, we'll let you in anyway. RSVPs are due Tuesdays. You can sign up by the email link on Friday or the one that goes out on in the email bulletin on Tuesdays. We do have some upcoming speakers. I'm guessing next week David's going to have to put up with me at the head table again because we've got Senator Joni Ernst, Jason Andinga, President and CEO of Vermeer Corporation, on the 22nd and October 29th, to be determined. We'd originally canceled that meeting to encourage participation in the multi-club event on substance abuse. Maybe I'm having substance abuse as I'm stumbling over words today. That is now being held virtually. The program committee is still working to fill this. They better come up with something or we'll have to pull people from the audience to sing. That's probably really going to discourage attendance at that meeting. We're not going to make you do that. Thank you for being all here with us today at the Rotary Club of Des Moines. Thanks for you tuning in now or in the future to watch on YouTube. And don't forget every day to leave something behind, no matter how big or small. Let's make our world a little bit better. And I suggest today or in the coming week to make a donation for a child's winter coat. With that, we are adjourned.